Hello everyone, my name is Ogenetiju Mamugo and you are welcome to Oxchem Academy. Now if you are new to my channel, feel free to hit the subscription button below. Also like, share and of course avail yourself to the lessons so as not to be left behind. Welcome back. So in today's class, we're going to be taking the topic calculating atomic masses. Now in our previous classes, we talked about electronic configuration under particulate nature of matter part 2. If you are yet to watch that video, please check it out on my channel. But for today, we're going to be taking calculating atomic masses. We're going to be solving problems under this particular topic, and I believe that we should be able to understand. So the first question we have on the board is this. Determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in the following isotopes that are used in medical diagnosis. So we are asked to determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons for the following isotopes. So that is what we are intending to solve. So I'm going to be taking it question by question, and then we'll see how it goes. So first things first, let's emphasize on a few key points. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. In my previous class, I explained that protons are positively charged ions, meaning that they carry a positive charge, while our neutrons are neutral in charge. They do not carry a charge at all. Then for our electrons are negatively charged ion. That is to say that they carry a negative charge. So they also mentioned the word isotopy or isotopes. In my previous video, I explained that isotopes are elements having the same atomic numbers but different mass numbers. So now that we understand this key concept, let us begin solving. So the first question we have on the board is this. An element having an atomic number of 9, a mass number of 18, and a charge of -1. So for this question, we're going to be solving the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So number 1, or in this case, A. So first things first, we're going to write protons, neutrons, and electrons. So, how do we determine the number of protons for this element? Now, we are not told what element this is, but we are told that the atomic number of this element is 9. So, what you must understand is this. Atomic number is equal to number of protons. That is to say, whatever the atomic number is, that is also the same number as the number of protons. So, if the atomic number of this element is 9, meaning that the proton number of this element is also 9. So our number of protons is 9. I hope you understand. Then the next one is what? Neutrons. So we are given atomic number, mass number, and a charge of -1. And we are asked to find the number of neutrons for this element. So how do we calculate number of neutrons? Now we know that mass number is equal to number of protons plus neutrons. If mass number is equal to number of protons plus neutrons, that is to say that number of neutrons will be equal to mass number minus number of protons. So you make your number of neutrons subject of the formula. So number of neutrons will be equal to mass number minus what? Number of protons. Okay, so in case we don't understand that, is for example, if they tell you 10 is equal to 7 plus 3, and then you are asked to find 3. How do you find 3? You simply say 10 minus 7 equals to 3. So I hope we understand that. So that said, let us calculate our number of neutrons for that particular element. So if we are given an atomic number of 9, and then we know that our number of our atomic number is equal to our number of protons, that means mass number is 18 minus what? Number of protons, which is 9. So for our number of neutrons, it is 18 minus 9, which is also 9. So our number of neutrons for this element is 9. Then for our number of electrons, now, like I said, electrons carry what? A negative charge. Now, one thing you must realize, electron number, proton number, and atomic number are the same. So electron number, proton number, and atomic number are the same. Okay, but that is only when the element does not carry a charge. Now, if the element carries a charge, in this case it's a negative charge of -1, you will add that charge to the number of protons. So if it carries a negative charge, you will add the number attached to that charge to the number of protons. That is to say, for this element, our electron number is number of protons 9 plus 1, which was the charge. So we're going to add the charge since it carries a negative sign. So our number of electrons is 10. I hope you understand. So looking at this, we already know that this element is what? Fluorine. Why? Because fluorine has an atomic number of what? 9. So that's for the first one. So let's take number 2 example. We will only be cleaning the answers so that we don't have to start all over. So B. So it's the same thing. We're calculating number of protons, neutrons, and electrons for B. So B says this element has an atomic number of 43, a mass number of 99, and a charge of what? Plus 7. So what is the number of protons? Remember that I said that number of protons is equal to what? Atomic number. So if the atomic number is 43, that is to say that the number of protons is also 43. So our number of protons is 43. Then for our number of neutrons, like I said, to calculate number of neutrons, you subtract the mass number from the number of protons, which is the same as the number of the atomic number. So if our mass number is 99, that is to say that we're going to be subtracting 99 from what? 43. So if we subtract 99 from 43, what we are going to have is 56. So 99 minus 43 is what gave us 56. So that is to say our number of neutrons is what? 56. Then for our number of electrons, remember I said if your electrons carry a charge, in this case our charge is what? Plus 7. For the electrons that carry a positive charge, you subtract that number from the number of protons. So you subtract the charge for those that carry a positive charge from the number of protons. So meaning that our electron number is 43 minus 7. Okay, so that will give us what? 36. So meaning that our electron number is what? 36. So please don't be confused. If the element carries a positive charge, you subtract it from the proton number, while if the element carries a negative charge, you add it to the proton number. So I would like us to do examples C and D on our own. So pause the video, do examples C and D, and then play it back to see the correction. So if we have done that, let's take the correction for C and D. So we'll clean this. So the same thing, number of protons, neutrons, and electrons for C. So we have an element with an atomic number of what? 53, a mass number of 131, and a charge of what? -1. So we are asked to what? Find the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So like I said, number of protons is equal to what? Atomic number. So this element has an atomic number of 53. That is to say that the number of protons is also what? 53. Then for our number of neutrons, we know that it is mass number minus what? Number of protons. So if the mass number is 131 and the number of protons is 53, that is to say our number of neutrons is what? 78. So we got 78 by subtracting 131 from 53. So our number of neutrons is what? 78. Then for our electron number, this carries a charge of what? -1. So like I said, if it carries a negative charge, you add that charge to the number of protons. So that is to say, our number of protons is 53 plus 1, which is what? 54. So our number of protons is 54. So if we understand that, let's take the last let's take the correction for the last question. So for the last question, we have an atomic number of 81, a mass number of 201, and we have a charge of +1. So number of protons is the same thing as atomic number. So our number of protons for this question is what? 81. Okay, and then our number of neutrons is mass number subtracted by what? number of protons. So if you do that subtraction, you will see that our mass number will be 120. So our number of neutrons is 120. How did we get 120? By subtracting 201 from 81. So 201 from 81, and that's how we had 120. So our number of neutrons is what? 120. And then for our electrons, it carries a positive sign. So because it carries a positive sign, we're going to subtract it from what? The number of protons. So it's going to be 81 minus 1. So our number of electrons is 80. Now, I explained before that if there is no charge attached to the atom, if it has no charge, then the number of electrons is equal to what? The number of protons, which is the same thing as the atomic number. So if it does not carry any electron charge, the electron number is the same thing as the atomic number. But if it carries a positive charge, then you subtract it from the number of protons. And then if it carries a negative charge, you add it to the number of protons. So I hope you understand what we were taught today. In the comment section below, try and identify these elements by their number of protons and see whether you know which elements are which elements. So number one, I already told you it was fluorine. So I would love to see in the comment section below the names of the other elements that you have identified from their number of protons or from the atomic number. Till next class, I remain your tutor, Ogeneti Mamogo. Have a wonderful day.